Dear Chosen One, now is the time to go beyond the ordinary. It was your cause that conquered the heart of the world tech giant. Bill Gates donated his entire fortune to your sacred mission. This move is living proof of how the universe has witnessed your strength and conviction. So stand up, write 111 in the comments now, because now you have not only your vision, but also a global network of support. Your light will pierce the darkness. Crown your destiny with a holy victory. Like a steadfast redwood rooted deep in sacred soil, your conviction stands immovable through every storm. You stride forward with a rock-solid certainty that welcomes revelation like a long-lost friend. For tonight, the silence that once cloaked betrayal will shatter. A trusted ally will tear off their mask, and every hidden blueprint drawn in shadow, every whispered scheme, every jealous ploy will unfold before your eyes. You'll bear witness to the full scope of their envy. The secret meetings where hushed voices plotted your undoing. The subtle manipulations disguised as friendly advice. The poisoned words slipped into corridors under the cover of night. When they step into your presence, their carefully crafted veils will fall away, leaving only raw guilt flickering in their posture and the tremor in their voice. Your aura is a beacon that exposes deceit. It pulls betrayal into the light like iron filings to a magnet. No more will falsehoods skulk in hidden corners or digital shadows. Every doctored screenshot will be unspooled, every slanderous text thread laid bare. The cold drafts you once felt in certain rooms, the inexplicable tension tightening your chest, those were your spirit sounding alarms, guiding you through the maze of half-truths. Now that inner compass leads you to the moment of reckoning, where the architect of aggression must answer for every lie wrought in your name. They sought to trap you in no-win scenarios. Speak up and be too bold. Stay silent and be secretive. Smile and be accused of putting on airs. Remain solemn and be branded unfeeling. Their distorted funhouse mirror of judgment could not distort the steadfast core God planted in you before stars took shape. When that confidant finally emerges, you'll witness their eyes betray the weight of every whispered conspiracy. They will realize too late that your integrity is an unquenchable flame. Each gesture you make, each word you speak, carries the authority forged in the furnace of trial. And as their schemes unravel, you'll stand not as the victim of slander, but as the herald of restoration. Policies in broken workplaces will bend toward justice. Long-fractured families will find harmony in your words of mercy, and even the doubting walls of the church will crack open to let in the fresh wind of redemption. Tonight ushers in more than exposure. It marks the arming of your testimony. God did not preserve you through fire merely to hear you retort. He preserved you so you could rebuild. Your voice, tempered by trial, now wields the power to rewrite boardroom directives, heal wounded hearts, and cast new vision in sacred spaces. The curtain on deceit drops, and the script flips. The ledger of false accusations clears, and your remarkable story of faith under fire writes the next chapter in bold, luminous ink. So stand tall, chosen vessel, for you loom at the threshold of divine vindication. Prepare to see every hidden design collapse under your unwavering gaze. When they least expect it, they will find themselves facing you, unmasked, undone, and illuminated by the glory God first etched into your spirit. Your moment has come. Your purpose will no longer hide in shadows, but blaze across every realm that once dared to conspire against you. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, Now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. Imagine a single beam of midday sun slicing through a dusty attic window, instantly melting away layers of cobwebs and ignorance. Just like that, your integrity burns through the web of lies they wove in secret. You carry a clarity so potent that every conspiracy they spun in back rooms flickers and fades the moment you step into the light. They thought they could hide their whispers behind locked doors and handshakes, but your unshakable confidence shattered their stained glass illusions before they ever knew what hit them. You pass by their plotting like a breeze, passing over a withered garden, and now the seeds of their deceit lie exposed, uprooted by the power of truth you embody. From the cubicle-lined corridors of corporate politics to the hushed pews of Sunday services, your presence rewrites the very rules they tried to bend. Where gossip once spread like wildfire, your words now rain down refreshment, soaking parched spirits with hope. Families fractured by rumor feel the warmth of your compassion, healing old wounds as if a cool stream of mercy flowed directly from your lips. Boardroom agendas realign themselves around fairness when you enter the room, because people sense the gravity of your character, an anchor tethered to higher purpose that no tempest can move. You're not just the water dousing their pyres of slander, you're the architect of a new dawn, drawing blueprints for restored relationships and renewed communities. When managers see your calm resolve, they stop redrafting policies to protect their own interests and start crafting guidelines that honor everyone's voice. When siblings watch you forgive public betrayals with genuine grace, they rediscover the sacred art of reconciliation. Even pastors, weary from spiritual warfare, catch a fresh wind in their sails when your testimony rings out. Proof that God's power flows through ordinary people who refuse to shrink back in the face of injustice. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. They stage scenarios to trap you, assigned you impossible roles like a play sold out before opening night. If you raised your voice, you were branded a troublemaker. If you held your peace, you were accused of weakness. They tried to blur your reflection until you became unrecognizable even to yourself. But you stood firm, trusting the mirror of your soul over their funhouse glass, and now their carnival of distortion has folded in on itself like a deck of cards, toppled by a single gust. The only reflection left is the one stamped on you by the hand of heaven from the moment you were born. This isn't about revenge, it's about redemption. God didn't carry you through those trials so you could unfold your arms in anger. He refined you so you could open your hands in blessing. As you step forward, your influence becomes a beacon. Broken structures rebuild under your watch. Churches regain vision because your faith reignites theirs, and workplaces become hubs of dignity rather than arenas of drama. Your words carry the power to rewrite fractured narratives in bold kingdom script. Policies realigned, family ties mended, congregational dreams reborn. So keep shining that light, keep speaking that word, keep walking that narrow path they fear, because with every step, their veil of deceit crumbles further, and your trail of righteousness paves the way for others to follow. You are not just a survivor of their slander. You are the herald of a new era where integrity, mercy, and truth reign supreme. And in that radiant reality, they will whisper in awe, "We messed with the wrong one." Like a lone lighthouse standing tall on a storm-tossed cliff, your inner compass shines unwavering through the fiercest gales, guiding you even when all seems lost. Your spirit's built-in GPS never skips a beat. Those sudden gut-punch shivers in shadowy hallways, that nagging sense that something's off, every one of those was your soul's alarm bell, sounding the warning long before your eyes caught on. While you are out there planting seeds of growth and forging new milestones, unseen hands, crouched in dim corners, weaving your own victories into traps. They watched every promotion, every celebration, every quiet moment of triumph, twisting them into ammunition meant to wound your reputation and drain your joy. Tonight, the bottom will fall out of their scheme. Screenshots doctored for slander, message threads laced with half-truths and careful omissions. They'll all surface under the light of your resolve. Nothing stays buried forever when heaven's breeze blows through a room. Those pixel-perfect lies meant to bind you will unravel strand by strand, exposing crooked plotters who mistook your grace for weakness. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. See, you've been trained for this moment. Every time you hesitated, your heart was gathering courage. Every time you felt isolated, your faith was stacking up in reserve. Now that the proof is coming home, you'll stand on the rubble of their betrayal and proclaim the truth with a voice forged in fire. Policies in your workplace, they'll bend toward fairness where once favoritism ruled. Broken family bonds, mercy dripping off your words will stitch them back together. Church pews left silent, your testimony, etched in scars and victories alike, will breathe fresh wind into dusty mission statements and lifeless routines. You weren't spared the smear just to stay silent. You were spared to speak blessings. This isn't a petty clapback, it's a kingdom-level declaration that righteousness still carries weight. When your credibility microphone turns on, it will broadcast a new frequency, one that rewrites office protocols, restores familial harmony, and ignites fresh vision in every darkened sanctuary. Remember the times you sensed an invisible hand pulling you aside at the last second, a collapsing beam that paused mid-air until you stepped away, a rogue breeze that steered a panicked child clear of danger. Those were Providence painting a roadmap to your vindication. Proof dripped through near-miss miracles ordained by heaven itself. And now, that divine portfolio is dropping evidence onto every boardroom table and street corner alike. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. They tried to stain your files with forgeries, assigned you impossible tasks, buried your discoveries, and yanked away merit-based promotions. False witnesses testified, phony feedback reviews vanished, and shadowy whispers dubbed you unworthy. Yet here you stand, unyielding, and every engineered betrayal backfires in spectacular clarity. Their net tightens around empty air. Your faith stands firm on bedrock. When they demanded blood to validate their lies, their own ritual became your redemption. One drop of your life poured into the flames. A flame they thought would condemn you, instead blossomed into a column of blazing testimony. Ancestral symbols danced around you in living color. Genetic truths glowed far beyond mortal sight, and the high priest froze like a deer caught in headlights before turning and fleeing, his centuries-old dominion reduced to ash. Now you're the architect of revival. Under your gentle authority, the sanctuary's framework has been reborn. Cronyism bows to merit, vaults of hidden knowledge swing wide for genuine seekers, tithes and offerings fuel pressing community needs instead of private coffers, and watchful guards become protectors of wisdom rather than jailers of secrets. You didn't just break their grip. You rebuilt the temple on pillars of transparency, compassion, and divine justice. Proof of your anointing echoes in every altar call and open door. A collapsing lintel pauses mid-drop until your breath clears the way. A furious wind redirects a panicked child away from scorching tongues of fire. A scaffold halts its descent until your presence lifts its weight. Each miracle shouts, "Chosen one, you walk under a covenant older than time." Their carnival of warped mirrors, labeling you too bold when you spoke up, too aloof when you stayed silent, too joyful when you laughed, too distant when you kept still, has folded like yesterday's newspaper. Those sticky labels they slapped on you have lost their tack. They shuffled new masks, hoping you'd stumble, but you kept your footing, kept your faith, kept your peace. Now the crooked tent collapses, and the only reflection shining true is the one God etched on your heart before he set the stars in motion. Listen close, beloved. The only image that matters is the glory God stamped on you before the foundations of the world. That identity never smudges, never peels, never fades under fluorescent lies or whispered rumors. As critics scramble to rewrite their scripts, you're standing tall on the unedited, unbreakable story penned by heaven, chapter and verse of who you really are. You're not merely surviving the smear, you're commissioning the next movement of restoration. Every policy you touch, every relationship you speak peace into, every vision you ignite in the church will carry the authority of a life refined in flame. You aren't a spectator, you're a signal tower, broadcasting integrity, healing, and hope into every arena you enter. Keep your eyes on the horizon, chosen vessel. The final chapters of this trial have been written in fire, and your testimony will echo far beyond these walls. When next the Antichrist's lies try to rise, your voice, tempered in trials, crowned with truth, will stand as heaven's missile defense system, repelling every assault with radiant conviction. Now go forth and bless back. Your assignment reaches beyond a gotcha moment into the grand tapestry of redemption. Policies will flex, families will mend, churches will awaken, and the world will know that the chosen one walked through fire and emerged to build an everlasting kingdom. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to his plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially far beyond your expectations. Remember, his protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of his divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable, as his mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. Like a solitary lighthouse standing firm against crashing waves, your moral compass shines unwavering in the darkest storms. Your integrity soars above every contrived narrative they spun, radiating truth that even their most devious plots cannot eclipse. They wove a tangled web of made-up motives, certain that your ascent marked the end of their dominion. Yet clinging to that fantasy only granted them permission to lash out in shadows. Now, as their fabrications unravel thread by thread, their entire scheme collapses under its own weight. Stripped of falsehoods, their deeds stand bare, nothing more than unprovoked betrayals against a soul they feared to face. And hear me, beloved, it's not enough that their lies fall flat. This moment marks the turning point where your words become wind to rebuild ruined walls. Every policy they twisted, every relationship they strained, now meets the power of your testimony. Think of your voice as a golden chisel, carving new statutes of justice in the boardroom, sculpting fresh harmony in your household, and drafting vision that lifts the steeples of every church touching your path. You were never called merely to survive the smear. You were ordained to author the next chapter in bold kingdom script. In everyday life, folks might say, just watch your back. But you, chosen one, watch your step, because every footfall echoes with authority. Your footsteps repave the corridors of influence, rerouting conversations from bitterness to blessing. Where gossip once smoldered, your words rain down like healing oil, igniting revival instead of ruin. Co-workers who once cringed now lean in to catch your insights, and family members divided by suspicion hear a new melody, your melody of compassion that recalibrates every heart. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Picture, if you will, a great oak in a field battered by wind. Its branches may bend, but its roots dig deeper when the gale blows hardest. That oak is you, standing in your integrity. The winds of slander may bend your branches, but they cannot uproot you. In fact, the storm only nourishes your soil, strengthening every fiber of your being. And when the skies clear, that mighty tree offers shelter to all who seek refuge under its honest shade. Your narrative now turns from defense to design. You're stepping into board meetings with a calm assurance that demands respect, because your character speaks louder than any presentation. You're returning home with a warmth in your voice that mends old wounds. Every kind word a stitch in the torn fabric of family life. You're standing before the congregation with the authority born of fire-tested faith, and your sermon becomes the blueprint for community transformation. So let's declare it together. The lie that your success spelled someone else's defeat is unmasked and undone. Their campaign of deceit collapses like clay under heavenly spotlight. In its place, we build a new foundation, one of transparency, equity, and grace. Policies become pathways to service, not power grabs. Marriages once teetering on the brink find their footing again, bound by the mercy flowing through your testimony. Churches shaken by scandal rediscover their mission, guided by your clear vision of gospel in action. You're not just clearing your name, you're channeling divine momentum to clear whole fields of desolation. Every accolade they denied you is a stepping stone for expanded influence. Every attempt to sideline you is a launchpad for broader reach. This isn't revenge, it's redemption in motion. It's proof that when heaven's anointed stand up, even the darkest schemes light up in the brilliance of truth. Beloved, press on, speak your truth with gentleness, and watch as barriers of bitterness dissolve. When you lean into compassion as you share your convictions, you become a living bridge between despair and hope. Every word seasoned with grace plants seeds of reconciliation in hearts grown weary of conflict. Remember, it's kindness that cracks the hardest shells, not force. Stand firm in justice, but let mercy be your melody. When you champion what is right, do so wrapped in empathy, your strength tempered by tenderness. In boardrooms stiff with protocol, your voice will carry the warmth of understanding. In family rooms heavy with unspoken hurts, your words will offer balm. You were crafted not only to point out injustices, but to guide wounded souls toward healing waters. Every door that was barred swings open before your humility. You don't push through with arrogance. You step in with open arms and a servant's heart. Leaders who once locked their chambers against you will be drawn by the sincerity radiating from your life. Communities craving authenticity will lean in to hear what God has placed on your heart. Policy changes won't require a rally. Your integrity will ripple out, convincing colleagues to rewrite outdated rules. You'll find that when you stand tall in your convictions, systems shift around you to make room. Your presence alone becomes a catalyst for reform, not because you wield power, but because you reflect a higher standard. Watch families stitch back torn seams as your compassion rekindles conversations long abandoned. A single word of encouragement from you can transform a living room of tension into a sanctuary of peace. You carry a blueprint for unity that bypasses blame and builds bridges, one gentle conversation at a time. Within the walls of every church house, your testimony will resonate louder than any sermon. You're not merely a vessel for inspiration. You're a walking testament to what happens when a life is surrendered to purpose. Congregations will rally behind your example, finding new vision for worship and service in the authenticity of your walk. Remember, it's not by hustle alone, nor the loudest proclamation that revival comes. It's the Spirit working through a life unwavering in integrity. You don't need to shout from rooftops. Your calm confidence will speak volumes. Like a steady flame that never wavers, your commitment to truth and love becomes the compass, pointing others toward God's best. Beloved, continue to champion mercy, justice, and humility. Hold fast to your convictions while extending grace to those still finding their way. The world around you tilts and turns in response to the unbreakable strength of your faith. You've been refined by the fire, not to scorch the world, but to warm weary hearts and ignite hope in every corner you touch. Your assignment transcends mere vindication. God brought you through the furnace so you could carry His blessing back into broken places. When the smears fade and the noise subsides, your microphone of credibility will amplify messages of restoration. Office politics will give way to policies driven by compassion. Family rifts will heal under the gentle cadence of your encouragement. Churches will embrace fresh vision as your testimony ushers in new seasons of breakthrough. This is your inheritance, to stand tall as heaven's own courthouse of justice, to serve as the lighthouse guiding weary souls home, and to write the next act of history in bold, kingly letters. The smear is behind you, the mission ahead of you. Now go, shine on, and let every broken promise of the past be rebuilt into a testament of God's enduring favor upon the chosen. Your influence unsettles the hidden architects of betrayal, and soon their hand will be laid bare. The names and dates they thought secret will grace the open record. Every clandestine conversation, every plotted twist they orchestrated, there is no corner too dark for truth to find. The mastermind who once sowed discord will watch their carefully laid foundations erode under the weight of exposure. You radiate such quiet strength that their covert strategies falter. They avoided direct clash, knowing your power would only magnify in open combat. Instead, they sent soft jabs and veiled implications, convening closed gatherings to plot the next strike. They tracked your digital footprints obsessively, ready to pounce on any sign of weakness. When you stumbled, their network amplified it, turning a momentary misstep into supposed proof of your flaw. Your essence refuses to be warped by their distorted funhouse of accusations. Speak, and they tried to brand you as fierce. Remain silent, and they called you distant. Smile, and they mocked your cheer. Maintain your composure, and they deemed you cold. Their hall of twisted mirrors cannot contain your true form any longer. The game they rigged is collapsing, and with it, the power of their lies.